Gearhead 327. I want to start off the video by saying that this Florida heat and humidity here in the summertime is brutal, and having no air conditioner in your car or truck, it sucks. Alright, I want to show you guys how I saved hundreds, if not $1,000 or $2,000 by fixing my own air conditioner. Gearhead 327. This is my 1995 Nissan Pickup truck, V6 5-speed. And guys, I can't tell you how miserable it is to drive around here in Florida with the heat, humidity, and the bumper-to-bumper traffic, and your air conditioning goes out. So I've got a little diagram here. I know I said it's a 95, but that's probably close enough. This plugs in and goes straight down to the compressor. Well, it actually goes through a little circuit breaker relay, which I'll show that to you. But what I did is I put my voltmeter. Now I'm more comfortable using a voltmeter than a test light, but I unplugged that, and I don't have 12 volts there. So what it is, I just jumped a wire out straight here to the battery. Now I don't recommend you do that unless you got a fuse, because you could burn something up. But you can see here, I'm just gonna touch it, and you can hear the compressor kicking in. So you can see that the clutch is good. Okay, so something in the system is inhibiting the clutch from turning on and cooling off this hot little truck here. So if you come over here to that thing right there, and you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, AC relay. I had another relay, I just swapped it out and it still didn't come on. So if you look right there at that relay, you can see that's a black white wire, and that goes down to a circuit breaker and then the compressor, which we're going to assume. Now, I know what happens when you assume. If you look where my thumb is, right there, can't really see it, that is what I'm guessing they call the circuit breaker, but that's okay because that thing wouldn't click on if it was bad. So I found this little black and white wire here, and I've got 12 volts outputted, which I need to tape all those up. So I'm looking over here, that's a straight shot from there to there, and it seems like the relay's turning on. But we have an engine control module, we have a thermal control amplifier, and we have, it's hard to zero in on this little guy right here, a dual pressure switch. Of course, it doesn't really say, right front of engine compartment. And we've got a orange, is it a green orange wire, and then this orange. Well, what that is, guys, is this right here. You can look and see this little guy. You can see that that's green and orange, and what that is the filter dryer has gone bad. Now, how do I know it went bad? Well, I pulled the plug out, jumped it across. That compressor came on when I started and turned the air conditioner on. And then to confirm it, you can see those two little pins in there. Now, it's going to be kind of hard for me to hold that and put those little two pins on there, but basically you put one lead on one pin and one lead on the other, and if it's good, this is what you'll get. Right there, you get that little beeping sound, and it'll get continuity. And if it's not, you go across them, you get that. That's what the problem is right there. So, guys, can you believe that? After 25 years, that thing is crapped out on me. Wow. And you probably want to know, how do I know that it's never been changed, guys? Because I bought the truck new back in '95, so that has never been replaced. So I think it's a pretty inexpensive part. So I'm going to get that changed out, and then we're going to have to recharge the system. And yeah, I could bypass that, but that is the filter dryer, and we don't want any contamination or cause other problems in the air conditioning system. Alright, we got the vacuum pump going right there. I've got my old manifold gauges right here, and this thing is sucking down. I've got my adapters. Now, this adapts to the R134A and lets me use my old hoses right here. You can probably get a new set of gauges that adapt to that without the adapters. from Harbor Freight for pretty cheap. Okay, this is the new filter dryer I just put in, and put that in the way right there. I had to hook the old sensor back up, and it just unscrews out of this thing and just screws right back in. It's pretty simple. Of course, you see the hammer there. These little fittings after 25 years need a little motivation, and no, that had never been changed before. So, alright, well, we're going to get this sucked down for probably about 30 minutes, and we'll turn those things off and see if we have any leaks. And if we don't have any leaks, we'll put some Freon in there. And right here it shows that we want about 1.76 pounds plus or minus 0.11 pounds. Okay, so I don't know how many ounces that is. I'd have to figure that out, but it'd be a little less than 2 cans. So, alright, well, let's get this thing vacuumed out and we'll put some Freon in it and see if she'll cool. Alright, well, the pump's been off for about an hour and these gauges have not moved. So I'm going to say that the system is good. Alright, so we're going to put some of this Freon right here. I just got it from the AutoZone, and I used to have a connector that I welded that would go from here to there, and I could use the gauges, but I don't seem to have that, so I had to buy this. So alright, well, let's get this kabuki'd up right here, and we'll put some Freon in it. Alright, I already put one can in there. You never ever want to turn these cans upside down and put the liquid in there, because it will screw up the compressor, and the compressor has engaged. So apparently this little guy right here did this trick. The only time you can turn the can upside down is when you just vacuum out the system and you have everything off, and you can do it that way, but like I said, you don't want to turn it on right after you do that, because if there's liquid in there, it'll screw up that compressor, and then you got a huge bill. So, alright, well, let's give this a little while and see if we can get some cold air. Well, I'd say with this condensation here on the truck that it is definitely cooling. Oh yeah, that feels great. Let's see what we got here. Alright, well, let's just look here at the vent. 39 degrees. Okay, well, that tells me that it's still a little bit low on Freon. I need to add some more in there, but it is definitely throwing out some nice cold air. And like I said, you don't get that without it really cooling off. Alright, I hate to admit it, but I had done my math a little wrong. That 1.76 pounds ended up being about 28 ounces. So I had to actually buy another can, and I put about a third of it in there. And how could I tell I put a third? Because you can tell where it gets cold at, and it got cold right there and warm up here. So that tells me that's where the liquid is. So that's how I ballparked it. I got a little thermometer here. Let's see what our temperature is. Alright, now let's see what our outside temperature is. Wow, it's pretty hot out here. Alright, 51 degrees, 50 degrees, wow. Well guys, well there you go. I literally saved probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by doing this little thing myself. That one little part, traced out that the wiring was there, and that compressor you see is running, and see we got some cold air going. So alright, well, we're going to call this a wrap. Call it a success. Well, that temperature is just nice and dropping right there. Boy, that is nice and cold. I can't tell you how nice it's going to be to get in this truck right here and turn on that air conditioning and just enjoy. Oh, and that is the original compressor, by the way. I thought I'd throw that in there. Everything is original except for that little part that I just replaced there. Well, it occurred to me that I didn't really do a good job of explaining the Freon and 1.76 pounds plus or minus 0.11 pounds. So guys, these cans are 12 ounces. The right way to do it is with a scale, but I don't happen to have one right now. So 2 of these is 24, and of course I'm confusing you, but 1.76 times 16 ounces in a pound comes out to about 28 ounces. So I need 2 of these and then about 1/3 of one. And then what I did is when I put the Freon in, I felt it come down about 1/3. So 1/3 of 12 ounces is 4 ounces. So that gives me my 28 ounces. So that should be about a perfect charge right there. Like I said, the only way to really do it right would be with a scale, but I think it's close enough. And then the proof is in the pudding when I'm throwing out that 49-degree air in there. So, okay, Gearhead 327.